Hello, welcome to episode 73 of the Great Pendragon campaign. It is the end of the Boy King era. It is the end of the year 518. We just finished up the Battle of Baden Hill last session. And so today we're going to follow sort of the aftermath of that and following up the rest of the bits of the year and kind of take it slow and then maybe get to some spreadsheets. Yeah, but before we get to that, how are you two doing?
Doing good.
I'm tired.
Yeah, always tired. Make sure the audio's coming through. Okay, good. Ever since the Twitch release thing or whatever, the hack, this is the first time streaming since then. So I just wanted to I wasn't sure if I had to reconnect all my stuff. Okay, I didn't do it. I didn't have time to do a test run today. That's grand. Everything's going well. Yeah. So again, nearly half of the knights in all of Englandom are dead. You two, the Earl, a couple others are around. We'll see more about that later. But it's a very somber moment, as at the end of the battle, sort of the great funeral that you have, because there's so many people that it's just basically, again, it's a mass grave at Baden Hill.
That's it. And this is unlike St. Albans, the cursed feast, right? This is not limited to the upper echelons. It's like
correct
all through.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is pretty much just a decimation, more than a decimation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember, all of England was basically here, right? All of Cumbria, Cambria, Logris, Cornwall, everybody came. Stragales. They all answered Arthur's summons. Yep, the power of chivalry. And it was a terrible price. Many of your friends, all of your loyal retainers, fell. And it's I'm sure it's a joyous day, but I don't know if you all are up to feeling as joyous as you want to today.
Right.
Realizing 30 of your years of 30 years, half of the people, like half you kind of cared about, half you didn't really care about, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Indiscriminately cut down. Some you saw, some you didn't. But in this sort of like most recent aftermath, what are you all kind of worried about, or like what's on your minds after this? You haven't made it home yet or anything like that, right? You're still sort of like in that camping phase before everyone's kind of going home. There is some drinking and celebrating and things like that, if that's, or even just drinking to commemorate, right? It's more of just that kind of night.
Mm-hmm. Are the Angles scattered and defeated? Are there still pockets of them? I think, I guess the biggest concern of mine is their Brent Wald is dead, but they've got more commanders, more leaders.
I mean, they were
still
fighting.
Outnumber us.
Yes,
they were fighting almost to the death.
They were, yeah.
Remember?
Okay.
So the exactly, no, they not almost to the death, especially like the most loyal of all of them, right?
Okay.
So there were certainly cries and call outs, especially the nights. During the night, like a lot of the drinking of. Remember how you all wanted to go raid the Saxons?
Yeah.
There's definitely sort of an undercurrent of like, we're not done, let's go hurt them more kind of thing, right? Especially if you have like a hatred of Saxons, it's relatively high. That would certainly be like it's not enough. We have to do more.
Mm-hmm.
So some people are going to grieve and rage through that. Some, other people are just contempt for turning to prayer, and just trying to deal with what it's like to lose, your brother, nephew, friend, lover. Wondering what's going to happen at home. I'm sure some people have probably left early. Especially if you're, Cumbria or somewhere like God knows, you got to get home before winter. It's like I can't even stay here, dude. I have to literally leave. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious about how you all are internalizing this victory, right? It's as pyrrhic
Uh,
as it gets, right? Like it's concrete, but
Acewin is with the squires of her dead vavassors,
yeah.
her dead vassals. Yeah, because I
Not
don't
even all
imagine
of
all
them
those
are around.
squires. Yeah, I was going to say, I know they didn't all die, but certainly I don't expect all of them to have survived.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, with specifically not sitting with other knights, like
Mhm.
with the squires and the retainers.
Yeah. Um, people are night. They're certainly talking about what do we go from here? What's going to be done? Are we going to be knighted now? What is England? What can we do? Are stewards going to be pulled in to be, to call to, to fill the ranks? But what do you? They're worried. I think fear, anxiety is certainly like the it's tense, right? It's like a really tight piano wire, man. It's they want some assurances, and the world is offering them none right now, other than we won today, but what's tomorrow?
Hmm.
You have any good words for them, or
Um,
you just want to commiserate with them?
here's where I think we start getting into the impact this had on Acewin.
Yeah,
Because her first instinct is to offer some like uh comfort, right? Be
sure.
like, well, my father went through this at Alder's Gap. The anarchy tried Logres over years, and that we've suffered this devastation over the course of a single day is a shock, but it's still something we can recover from.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna roll a trait to see whether or not she actually goes through that. I think, what would this be? Whether she actually gives words of comfort or just holds on to this spiteful self-pity that she's got right now.
yeah.
Um,
That's a good question. Um,
Maybe generous
that's
versus selfish.
that's more money. That's more
Yeah.
monetarily basis.
Merciful versus cruel.
I'm yeah, or even yeah, I feel like that's a little bit getting there. Whether you are, I think merciful versus cruel might be it, although that's still not even the best. This is tough.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a toughie.
So the
Yeah,
question, yeah,
the question is, like, if she were to speak these words of comfort, she would be doing it because she knows these people need it. It's not,
just
at no point does she believe.
it's not,
Uh,
yeah. Then maybe is it? I mean, is it weirdly trusting versus suspicious, where you're like being honest with them? Or that'd be honest versus deceitful. Why is honest and trusting there at the same time? I don't know.
well, what if
Yeah,
what if
but like
it's
trusting of others.
Yeah.
yeah? I mean, honest versus deceitful. But oh yeah, honest versus deceitful. The honest thing she would say is, I don't know. Like, why the fuck would I know? Why would you ask me? So I'm gonna roll honest deceitful, but traditionally honest would be the thing that's like the good thing to roll. But here I think if I
Yeah.
rolled successfully on deceitful, she gives that white lie, that necessary
Yeah.
lie. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Talk myself into it.
Yeah. Is it the unvarnished truth? Ooh.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
you just crit.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Hey.
Acewin, you have critted to your
So
deceitful. So
without believing a fucking word of it,
absolutely.
she's like, my father at Alder's Gap saw his best friend fall, saw some of the best knights of his generation fall. And the thing that has always remained in my heart is the words of Winterborn Gunnet, words that I give you now. We remain. Logres remains. The kingdom remains. Arthur remains. The spirit of even departed friends remains. and we get like the shot of them like kind of internalizing that, and then it passes over Acewin, and it's just fucking dead eyes.
Exactly. Yep.
Dead eyes. Didn't believe a fucking thing.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Yeah. So of course they eat that up, and they feel warmer by the fires at night, externally and internally.
Yep. Classic Kubrick stare moment.
What about Gorthrin? You have a little bit of a different thing. I really want to hear what's going on with you. But you can't help but be kind of like brought into like, you're getting more nods than Acewin, you know what I mean? Like you're a little bit elevated, you're kind of waiting on it to be formalized into whatever you're supposed to be given, but everyone knows your contributions, everyone saw, you know what I mean? So like there's a lot more
Yeah, and well, especially because like at the feast, Sir Kay made his remark about, Gorthrin's over here, could be a round table material. So I think like Gorthrin's feeling pride, right? Like,
yeah,
he feels it, but this is a critical moment. To me, this is not the time to be self-aggrandizing. He wants to stay by the Earl's side. I think like in a moment like this could be one of those moments where we get some backsliding from the Earl. Other people spot an opportunity to like worm their way into his confidence as he's looking to fill positions and things like that. So I think Gorthrin wants to stick by the Earl and just show the Earl that Gorthrin is like going to be, going to support him during this moment. Because this is how the Earl came to power, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so let me ask you how Gorthrin will respond to this. The Earl says that he forgets something. Like he says some kind of remark of like, oh, I left my my rosary or something. 1 second, Gorthrin, and he's kind of gone longer, and kind of like basically he breaks from the rest of his entourage. He's going to go. But I'm going to say that you and the rest of the entourage will kind of find him. Maybe you find him first, because I'm curious about what you're going to do. And you find him basically crying and praying near that giant cross that Arthur brought. About just like, there was that point, during the night and like the feasting and things, and then all of a sudden just grief just like hits him like a storm, right? And he's like, hold on a second, I think I forgot, where did I put my, or whatever, where's my rosary, or like, where's my cup, where's my fork or whatever, and like, he gets up, and the next thing you catch him an hour later just fucking bawling near the cross. And is this one of those things where you're gonna like, will you kind of like just say give him some room? Will you try to go up there and like try to personally comfort him? Will you go up there with him even though you're not like super Christian? How would you respond finding your Earl in such a vulnerable, like personal grieving kind of position?
So the Earl's recently had this religious experience where he believes his life's been saved and he's got a new lease on it. And
a giant portrait of Christ fell on him, and he didn't die.
This is a private moment for him. If he was going to use this as a way to like big himself up, then it would be like, oh, come with me while I pray over the souls of the fallen. But he wants to be alone.
No,
I'll respect.
This is like his Gethsemane,
Right? Yeah. I'm going to respect that. Keep a watch on him because there are still enemies about, and an Earl by themselves, vulnerable and deep in their pain is a prize for any group of Saxon raiders. So he'll keep an eye on him, but he's going to wait for the Earl to be done before he'll say anything. Just stand by.
Okay. You're definitely going to have to call off some. Like, some of his retinue or whatever looking for him. Like, Gorthrin, have you seen the Earl?
Oh, the Earl is in his prayers right now.
The prayers?
Be with us shortly.
Needed him to give a speech. Okay. Shortly? All right, I can buy time. Do you want to roll honest versus deceitful here or something else? Like, because the problem is that this is not going to be a short time, right? You gave the pilot, we're going to be ready to go in 5 minutes or whatever, right?
Right, yeah. I think if it were edging up on time, I think he'll approach the Earl. Like if it's got
the guy's going to come back and be like, "What's the update?" because
Yeah.
he's there. He's here for a while, and he's pretty much pretty despondent for the evening.
Yeah. Okay. So after the callers, where is he? Where's the Earl? Where's he going to be there? They leave. Then Gorthrin will respectfully approach and just kind of a my lord, when you have a moment.
I'm sniffling and what is it?
We have need of you. There are still matters to attend to. Are you well?
How important are these matters, Gorthrin? And could you possibly do them this evening? Wiping you. He's asking with he can't come out and ask you because he's just so distraught. But basically, he doesn't want to do anything. And he's asking you whether this is should you actually be interrupting him right now? You know what I mean? Is this worth interrupting him? I'm gonna leave it to you how to respond.
Yeah.
Is some random feast speech worth it? Sorry, I cut you off with bad timing.
Yeah. I'm not sure Gorthrin knows the exact particulars of it.
It's bullshit. It's just bullshit, just Earl stuff that is not necessary.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that they are not pressing, but your presence would be appreciated and welcomed. If it is something that you wish to entrust to me, though, I will do my best. You can trust me.
I understand those duties, but my heart says my presence is required here today, this evening.
Indeed.
And I need to serve those who are lost today. And he looks at you, and his face is just his eyes are super red. And even it's amazing the faces that you see every day, and words not shared.
You don't usually think about that until there's no opportunity to say them. I understand that.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Gorthrin.
I'll take care of everything.
Okay. Never mind. He's okay with that then.
Yeah. Gorthrin will leave the Earl to his prayers and head back and just say the Earl's indisposed this evening.
Yeah.
He's deputized me.
Cool. Yeah. And he's just gonna give you some kind of administration of who get basically helping the bursar and the gifts of whatever the salvage from the the fight and all that kind of speeching right.
Yeah, Gorthrin finds the person that looks like they know what's going on and empowers them.
Right. Well, the problem is that he lost some of his some of the Castellans are dead, and so that's why I'm not just randomly picking you. It's just it's just
who else is left.
Yeah, and there's so many people who are lost that he's just he's right.
Yeah, we'll do our best. Yeah.
Here one day, gone the next. Okay. I like that. All right. While you are sort of doing this administration, Gorthrin, one of the handmaidens of Gwenevere is going to summon you, and that you are required.
Of course, the Queen summons. You don't say no.
Absolutely.
He'll prepare himself as best to, wash himself up, whatever. Imagine that Gorthrin's had.
You've all had
to clean up.
Yeah, no, you've all at this point have had time, right?
To
wash and at least get out of your armor.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're called to Guinevere's tent, right? Which is obviously one of the largest pavilions. She came here with Arthur and the retinue. But obviously it's not like she fought or anything like that. She was just with the baggage and etc.
He'll bow and wait for her to.
Yeah, and finally, the handmaiden, the caller that brings you in, and opens the pavilion tent flap, right, and you immediately get smells of perfume and just the luxury of the queen, which is a balm, I think, to your spirits and your sense, considering how much you care about her, and just everything. And yeah, you see her. She is currently in the middle of basically like or finishing up some sort of like prayer and discussion with a couple priests. And she beckons you over to her little like table. Gorthrin, Sir Gorthrin de Tilstead, please have a seat.
Thank you. Yes.
And she goes to try to pull out the chair for you personally.
Which does. Okay.
Yeah.
I think maybe Gorthrin
Yeah.
automatically tries. Oh,
No.
excuse me.
No, please. You have served me very well. It's said that you fought with fire in your eyes, calling about me during this fight.
That's correct. Yes.
She'll call out a couple like knights that supposedly, you know, some parts of the battle of how you personally saved so and so from this thing, right? Well, my words are failing. I cannot express just how moved I am by your passion for me and your king. And tomorrow, during farewell ceremonies, I just want to give you a personal invitation and this gift. I know that you were informally a member of sort of the Queen's Guard, but I'd like to extend this and make this a formal practice, with you at its lead. With so many knights lost, I can only look around and see the ones that remain, and the goodness and the strife that has lived inside of you. And well, your display of your passion is a light not just that fuels you in the fires of battle, but it's a light that will guide these new era of knights to what's right and what needs protection. And I could think of no one better to be in that service than you.
It's a great honor. I must confess that the light that shines through me is but a reflection of a greater light that I see in you and our king, who will bring our lands to prosperity and peace. This is an honor. Thank you, my queen.
You are most welcome. So, Gorthrin, you're going to be gaining an additional 100 glory a year, being a member of the Queen's Guard. You are also going to be responsible for, or personally invited to joining various tournaments put on by the Queen that represent sort of like, you know, competitions of dance, tourneys, and the like.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Nice.
she'll also say, now Gorthrin, my friends have told me that you're originally from Cholderton.
Yes.
Is that right? And now
Yes,
I've heard that you have a special rose garden that grows there. Is that correct?
Yes, my father built it for his third wife, I believe. My mother died in childbirth, and he was alone for quite some time. And when he found someone else who to share his life with, he built the arbor. And ever since, the flowers there have had a peculiar quality.
Peculiar indeed. Some say they're some of the finest in all of England. I would love to see them sometime.
You were always welcome at Cholderton, my queen.
Yeah. So that's So that would be special next year. Is that you're going to see the roses of Cholderton.
Nice.
But I wish we could talk. I wish we could talk more, but my duties this evening are required, and well, I believe the king needs to talk to you as well.
I mean, thank you for your words. Thank you for your presence. I believe you're an inspiration to more than just myself.
as all a queen can be. Farewell. And one of Arthur's courtiers is going to bring you over. But she leaves with a genuine smile on her face, excited to see the roses. It doesn't feel like the, the fake veneer that nobility sometimes, you know what I mean? That this is,
Yeah.
She didn't, like, she was genuine with you today.
Yeah. It's like you can see how after something is like traumatic as a battle like that, that just there's no room for fake friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Gorthrin will leave bolstered and feeling good about himself.
And cool. Now we get to have a chat with you and the king and Sir Kay. So,
All right, lead on.
Yeah. The courtier is like basically like Sir Kay's squire. I don't know his name yet, but basically the guy who replaces Arthur. He's going to ask you to come join Sir Kay, and Sir Kay, and meet you in front of Arthur's pavilion, which is just down a little bit, not like a long trip or anything like that. And perhaps maybe he's just waiting for you outside the tent. It's that short, and he's going to embrace you, and be like, it's. I've never seen someone fight quite just as doggedly as you.
A great many of us gave it everything that we had, but yes, it was a good fight.
The finest gave it all. Now, just left we who remain, which is kind of somber to him to say. Basically, he's talking about some of the round table knights that lost their lives, right?
Yeah, there were a few of them that just like disappeared into the
right.
Mass, yeah,
basically the retreating actions, right? That it's like saved the army on like the 2 days or whatever, just never came back. Yeah, right. Like those guys. Well, I meant it when I said earlier that you have what it takes to join the round table, and I want you to know that I formally wish to sponsor you in your petition to join. Is that okay?
That is more than okay. That is a great honor. Thank you.
Oh. Despite raising the boy, I am far from his favorite. But I will do everything I can to ensure that you are given your just share for what you've done for England, for Britain, for your Earl. Now, come. And he's gonna go talk to Arthur, right?
Yeah.
Arthur basically crying. You can hear him crying in his own tent. Just like and Merlin's like, that's just even we still don't know what happened to these children. They're like basically they're just talking about some other news and things that is going on. And is Merlin, but that would be a talk for a different time. Your new appointment has arrived, Arthur. And Arthur's going to kind of pick himself up and feel okay. Merlin's going to do that classic like fade to statuesque in the corner that he's known to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to call you in. Yeah. Sir Kay. Sir Gorthrin. Thank you for coming. It's a tough evening to get anywhere, emotionally speaking. Come here, man. And he's like waiting. There's like this like distance between you two, and he's like, no, fuck, I need a hug. And like he's
okay.
And you're
right.
and the three of you are gonna kind of hug for a second.
All right.
Like,
yeah.
So many nights.
Too many.
Gorthrin, Sir Kay, I know what you're here for. I want you to know that Merlin has already told me that on a seat around the round table in Carlion. There is a golden engraving with your name on it. Don't know how it got there, Gorthrin, but it means one thing. It means you have no choice. Welcome to the round table. It's going to embrace you.
Yeah. Gorthrin, speechless, for sure.
Tomorrow there will be a full sword duty ceremony. But after everything Sir Kay and my other knights have witnessed, your valiance, you fought as well as anyone could ever expect. More so. Normally there's chivalry and some other components to this, but damn it, we've lost so many knights that
I've never
need
been much
you.
for ceremony.
Well, what do you tell me? What are you most proud of? What do you stand for?
Defense of my family, my comrades in arms. The treachery that this Brett Walda engaged in, the position that he put you in. It's I feel a great deal of pride in seeing more of them left on the field of battle than ours.
Indeed. Respecting the old ways. Well, that's... If the Saxons were from this land, they would know that the violation of such a... just despicable.
Indeed, despicable. And I take heart that not all of them joined the Bretwalda, but I hope that we do not have to do what we did at Baden Hill again.
No, we'll make sure of that. Next year we'll be responsible for treating with those who remained in Anglia, Kent, and ensuring a peaceful transition. Now, among your most esteemed qualities, Gorthrin, I did not know that modesty was among them.
Only today.
Well, Sir Kay has told me how valiantly you fought in the name of my beautiful wife.
Indeed, I did.
I'm glad that
I find that our queen is a light of inspiration for me and others, and at our most hopeless filled me with the courage that I needed. Keep going.
And you joining the round table shall fill the future rounds of knights with that same courage.
I hope so.
You are no longer just lit by others' lights, but you have your own. And it is your responsibility to make sure that light is carried forward to the next ones. Forever.
I am happy to carry that forward.
I did not come here to build a kingdom that will not last. It will be built on the strongest foundations. And remembering what happened today is one of those stones of this foundation. And what remains in your heart today is another, just as important. So you are going to gain, what's your passion? What's your loyalty? 16?
Loyalty Lord is 14 right now.
Okay.
Although I haven't checked.
Then, okay, good. No, that's good. Then you will you'll create you have created a new passion or earned a new passion. You'll have passion for loyalty to King Arthur himself.
Okay. Nice.
And that will be at 15 going into it. Oh, actually, no. There's actually a math. There's an equation for it. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. The starting value is equal to the average of. I'm just gonna post this shit in there. Okay.
Yeah. I'll
I'm
work
gonna
out
and
my
let you figure it
equation.
out, okay? Energetic, generous, honest, just, merciful, modest, valorous, and your passions, loyalty, honor it, and a more lady. The average
All
of
right.
all of those is your starting passion for loyalty of Arthur.
Okay. All right.
So, furthermore, you're going to gain 1,000 glory for joining the round table. You will be given a compensation of 20 librum a year to live richly. And something else, which I'll save for later.
Okay. That's a one-time glory.
Yes.
Like a knighting.
Yeah. Because then, this is basically accumulation of what happens the following day too, right? So not that there's
Right.
two scenes. But here's I'd rather do an intimate moment than a formal celebration of everything.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate.
Right. Yeah. So is there anything you would like to say to Arthur rather than you just standing in the here?
I think Gorthrin will. Gorthrin's had I wouldn't call it a chip on his shoulder, but I think like a non-ironic, like, hey, what's the deal? And given like the way that he acquired Tilshead, the way that this happened, especially the story of like that Gorthrin's name just appears on a table, and like Gorthrin might be starting to believe that like there are these supernatural forces at work, and that his role is to ride them and be carried by them and not fight them. And so I think Gorthrin feels a sense of like calm and peace, that he's just, my king, I am looking forward to what I can do for you and this kingdom that we're building. And if I can be any sort of foundation stone for that, then I will take great pride in it. And I will do my utmost to ensure that the stones we lay upon it are strong and enduring for 1,000 generations. With great honor, as did the queen. And I will live up to the honors that you have bestowed upon me.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Merlin is, as you're like heading out, Gorthrin, a moment.
Rude. It's like Gorthrin talking to the Pope.
Right? And this might sound strange, but well, I knew your father, and we always didn't. Later on, we didn't always see the same way about things. But I want you to know, as late as it is, I forgive him and his friend, Gareth. I understood what had to be done, and I want you to know that the promise that I saw in your father, I still see is carried through to you. He would be most proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh. From time to time, I had to ask your father for favors. And you now is. And soon will be the time where I'll have to ask you.
You will find me willing when you do come.
Good. That is excellent. Now run along.
Yeah. He'll get back to his duties for the Earl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
Right? That's sick as hell.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do this.
Sorry, Colin. I know. I know you don't care, but I just personally always feel it's like, oh, and here's one player getting fucking showered with all these things, all this glory, and you just have to watch as an audience member. In a second. Oh yeah. I couldn't roll a 12.
Yeah. RNGesus.
Yeah. So y'all, Acewin. This could be after the ceremony for like Gorthrin, and there are many other knights who, upon leaving, are given these prestigious rewards. But of the most prominent, right, or who are the round table knights now? What about this newly formalized Queen's Guard, right? Like what all these things that have just happened, and do you feel resentful or is it more, your
Mm.
yourself, right? That this could have been you.
It is resentful, but not in a kind of personal way. She resents Gorthrin not as Gorthrin, but as emblematic of the kind of knight she is not. And so she is really having to kind of internalize that and figure out what to do with it. Right? This resentment isn't something she's going to like deploy. But it is something that is prompting her to have to like figure it out.
Do you congratulate Gorthrin?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Genuinely?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Acewin, will clap as much of his shoulder as she can reach. And say, it may come as some surprise, Gorthrin, but I'm not surprised. The enormity of your destiny here fulfilled seems as inevitable to me as the swelling and ebbing of the river Bourne. Just as fundamental to the turning of this world, just as vital to it. I can think no greater man to deserve it.
Thank you, Acewin. I sense a hesitancy. We lost each other in the battle. I would assume that you would have been there with me. Are you well?
Weeks ago, I would have assumed that I would be there with you as well. And that is my pride, I think. That is the sin for which I am reckoning. That I should be entitled to stand next to you by dint of our friendship, by dint of glories of my father and my house. That I might reap the rewards that I did not earn. I shall be seeking an audience with the Earl later, and you may hear of it. But I beg your forgiveness that I do not wish to speak of the topic now, not here, not amidst a celebration that you richly deserve.
I forgive you, and always will. You've done nothing wrong. If anything, what I see is someone who has not put their own aggrandizement ahead of themselves, as someone who has served others and looked over in that. And I think you can rest easy in placing yourself ahead of those others sometimes. Not that you need my advice. Whatever happens, we will always be friends. We will always be comrades in arms.
Acewin is going to take to that, but there is absolutely a secret doubt that that is not going to be true.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. She's not going to say it.
Fox and Hound. We're going to be friends
internally.
Forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh God, why would you have to bring that up? Why? Oh boy. Yeah.
Open the floodgates.
Yeah. No, I love it. Sebum in chat also mentioned how in the different ages, Uther was kind of like, we saw Erwin stand up, Anarchy, we saw Gareth like pull through here, and in Boy King, we see Gorthrin goes back to Gorthrin again as the Ascendant. I wonder how this pattern's going to keep playing out a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, because of like through the Anarchy and stuff, it's like it was Acewin and Gareth who are sort of like that on the higher point, and now you are meteorically rising, Gorthrin. Yeah. Interesting. But okay. On the way
So
home.
my loyalty King Arthur does come out to 15. But you add it all up.
That's funny as hell. Okay. Here's your reward that I was saving. Whether he knew it or not, or maybe this is just a coincidence. You were given a new stock of horses, Gorthrin. For someone who is as for the round table and as someone as proud as you, you're getting a stock of Andalusian chargers, which are bigger than the normal chargers.
Yeah.
They do an additional d6 points of damage on charge.
Waste nuggets.
And you're given enough for breeding. So if you wanted to start your horse breeding off right.
Yeah. We've been expanding the stables this year, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That so basically in addition to you becoming a knight this year, like Sagramore basically had called in some favors and had some brought over, and
Nice.
and as part of which all the round table knights are getting these horses.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You'll start to breeding them ASAP.
Yeah.
Great for
Yeah.
Lucia.
What is your horsemanship?
Gorthrin's is only 16.
Okay,
So he's
so
not like
you're,
the best rider, but he's
I mean, you're, yeah. No one thinks of you as any less of a rider.
Yeah. I mean, he's been unhorsed a few times, but they're like in the thick of melee 2v1 kind of things, though. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. So
Nice.
yeah, that works
Very
for me.
cool.
How would you all feel if we did a feast?
I'm always down for a feast.
And I think this would be, I think using the feast here as sort of a like a montage or almost like of how we're handling sort of the rest of the year and kind of like what's going through all our heads through the end of this year before we go to the winter phase and stuff might be pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm cool with like a Christmas feast basically is what this is, and we can just do a couple rounds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you over.
I think whether Acewin would talk to the Earl before or after the feast. Probably after.
Sure.
Let's do.
See which table you're all at.
Yeah. Got rid of Ethelherd. I just delete her.
Oh yeah. I didn't give you all your knights. This is probably part of the feast, right? This is like sort of the commemoration and the vassalage ceremony.
Then Acewin would talk to the Earl beforehand.
Okay.
Acewin would ask for a formal meeting with the Earl.
Yeah, I mean, just test appearance.
Okay. No.
Denied. You can say so that's a fumble. So I was using that as sort of like, hey, can I get a leg in to talk to the Earl? And apparently the Earl has been too busy. Or I mean, how do you think? Let's talk about like this is not just a failure, right? So it's not like there wasn't even enough time or an opportunity to do it. But this is like the worst possible failure, right? So part of me thinks like, did you just like did something come up that made you miss the appointment? Or like
why am I testing appearance for this?
It's basically like a general courtesy, like as a random chance of, hey, can I see the Earl?
I have a courtesy skill though. Like if it's a matter
we should be using courtesy. Yeah, we should be using courtesy.
All right,
okay, it's still a failure.
Good.
But you're right. Getting that should have been courtesy. Okay. Yeah. Then in this case, he's too busy. But I think I would allow you to still get a spot with the Earl and talk to him beforehand. If you're able to either like he's too, you get the soft no right now where he's like, oh, I can't, it's too busy and stuff like that. But you really need to talk to him, so you're gonna like, pay attention to his schedule and see if someone cancels and kind of like sweep in there, right? So I think,
Yeah.
But let's see if you're able to do that with an intrigue, right?
Okay.
So this is basically your opportunity of trying really hard
No.
to get to it. Okay. No. You're gonna have to talk to him during the feast, I guess. So this is before anyone gets knighted and all that kind of stuff. So you just have to. The consequence of this is then you're just gonna have to spend a turn during the feast to talk to him. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Colin. The dice are against you today.
Yep.
You roll high now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll start rolling low when we're doing the winter phase checks. That it's gonna be ones across the board.
Exactly. All right. So you're unable to get a meeting with the king or the Earl.
Yeah. All right. Rolling fashion. Fail that, so I don't get the +1 to appearance. All right, but I do get appearance, so I am near the salt.
Both y'all are near the salt. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay. All right, Gorthrin, how do you want to spend the first round? You have to spend it flirting?
Yeah, possibly. Yep. Is there a handmaid? One of the queen's handmaidens around?
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love the idea of, basically some of the queen's entourage has already started to come here to like, as part of like making, like, yeah, an attache to make sure that you have enough place at Till's Head and stuff like that for the queen to live here, and just making sure that, it's up to spec.
Whichever handmaiden
not enough goose
like
feathers
her.
in these pillows. You need 17. She's the queen sleeps with exactly 764 goose feathers in each pillow. That kind of stuff, right? So, yeah. So,
start counting right now.
Yeah. So you're talking to her.
Yeah, he'll just casually flirt with them, and that's how he spends his first round.
Now, what kind of flirting are we dealing with here?
He's not trying. It's like a. I like the idea of an ambiguous flirt, like, more than just like friendly banter, chit chat, like he sometimes does, like Cirque earlier in the year. So we're just like friendly and jovial, like you're just one of the bros. But this is much a like, if Gorthrin was like in a mind to, he would push it further. But I don't think he wants to right now.
Sure. But that's still just like, is she able to pick up on your banter, right? Mm-hmm. And that kind of stuff. And yeah, and she's a great conversational partner. And she's able to tell you all this cool stuff about, whatever. And she's right back at you, like a good dual partner.
Oh yeah.
For wits.
Yeah. This is
she's like, no wonder the queen likes you, Gorthrin. Like that kind of thing, right?
Yes. I do compose my letters with all the passion in my heart.
Oh yeah. Acewin?
Gonna talk to the Earl.
Yeah. All right. So you were able to catch him at the feast?
Yeah. Definitely uncomfortable about having to do this in front of other people, like at the feast. But Acewin is gonna say, my lord Earl, I have an indulgence that I shall beg of you. It being Christmas. I have of late and since Baden Hill thought long about what is worthy, and I shan't pretend to have settled such a great matter, but I have come to know myself and the duties that I owe you. and the duties that I am unable to dispense. In my heart, I am not worthy of the responsibilities given to me as a banneret. I have led my men to ruin and to no profit of Salisbury. My sword arm has been weak. You have given me Woodford, Steepleford, Langford, Laverstock to my father, and I have profited of them. But it has not been a profit earned. And so the indulgence I ask you is this, that you take those manors from me and gift them to another knight, that I am returned as mere vassal, no banneret, until and unless I am once again worthy.
Debating whether he would be like, does he like you enough that he won't say like how preposterous that is, or does he care more about like what he would say publicly in a feast about how this like the answer is going to be no. I'm just figuring out how he's trying to say it, and I think here's what he's going to do. He's going to say, Sir Acewin, I understand. I really do. I can't tell you the number of nights I've lost sleep during that battle. Since the battle. The toll. The wounds may have healed, but the scars remain. And are you sure you're well?
I have a clarity now that I did not before.
Forgive me if I disagree with your own clarity. For it is this generousness, this sense of honor and duty. Well, that is... It's not personal to you. It is for you to... You always see the greater. You don't... The forest rather than just the tree. This sort of thinking is... That sort of clarity. That is why I can never give you what you want and allow this request to happen. Your near reckless behavior of the minute something does not go as pictured in Morgan's stories or leveling up to your father, you're willing to throw it all away and live as a hermit, it shows how much you care. And that's what I hear from you. Not the request, but shows how much you care about yourself and well, Salisbury and what's best for it. And that's why I need you more than ever. And that is why you will remain a vassal knight. How old's your oldest?
I think 4. Hold on. Oldest was born 5/11.
Huh.
So, no, wait, that's the one that died.
Yeah, right.
Yep, 5. So 4/13 or 5/13 rather.
I'll tell you what, Acewin. And he'll like put his hand on your shoulder. When your oldest is ready to be a knight, if you still feel the same way, I will grant it. And give in that time, and in that time since hence, really think about it and think about what sort of service you can provide to these vassals. See if it's still worth it or not. So Rufus is not only like manners, yum 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 yum. He's rejecting that. Like the Earl has very much changed face, and he's definitely seeing you as like, I don't know. He's definitely paternalizing and not really hearing what you're saying, right?
Oh yeah.
He just hears the grief of it, and being like, "Get the fuck out of here with that shit." But he's saying it very nice, you know.
Yep. And Acewin is holding her tongue and says, "As you command, my liege," and will return to her seat and have a big old glass of wine.
Yeah. And I think the Earl will talk to his wife and goes, "Ethelwolf, what do you think? Did I do this wrong?" She's like, "Not at all. She's been going through a lot lately." He feels better about it. Do you feel that's fair, Colin? Do you feel like there should have been a role involved?
No, he's
Okay.
the Earl.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
I literally can't give him back unless he wants.
Yeah. No. A different Earl would have taken him back.
Yeah, Rufus is definitely turned a new page.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Well, I think honest, a lot of it's been not just his like religious thing, but being at the round table and just being around that quality of person. Like he just kind of needs to.
Yeah.
At least that's how he feels about it. Or maybe there's something magical about being on the round table that you know, it's kind of like the clothes make the man kind of situation where the table makes the night. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I imagine, you know, God forbid the Earl passes the survival checks in the future. We might see more about that. And I'm really curious about what happens with Acewin. And so now Acewin, you have kind of a time period of like, you know, a lag period, a trial period of, you know, is this long term? Is this really, you know, or can there be a change in how you want to come back to it? But basically he thinks that having a, like, you know, you can always just focus on your own kid, and you know, it's not just about you and how you're feeling, it's the whole legacy thing. And you know, is that fair to your kid? It's kind of like where he's trying to get to. And so ultimately when you're thinking about secession later on, it's going to be that sort of his where he's coming from with that, of being like, is that fair to your son though? Is that fair for all of the rest of Salisbury, or your not just your son, but I don't know what the word would be, successor? I suck at role playing, so like that's I have to like write the, you know, the spark notes of what I actually meant when I am rambling.
That is role playing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Cards. Some crads.
Cards.
Oh, hey, wait. Before you play those cards, you all know to ask what food we have.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, beef marrow fritters.
Yummy. The
Those
mozzarella sticks of the medieval period.
I was gonna say those actually. I would go in for some beef marrow fritters.
It is delicious. It doesn't sound like it, but beef marrow is absolutely delicious.
Yeah, it's like it's exquisite. That's like if anything, that's
meat jelly. That enthuses me far less. The meat jelly, not into that, but the beef marrow fritters, I'm into that.
Heraldric Implement. Yeah, Heraldric Implement, another kind of meat jelly.
Yeah. And remember, fermenty is. Isn't that like oatmeal? Isn't that what we discovered last time? It's like a porridge.
Possibly,
I'm misremembering.
No, that is what it is. It is a porridge of thick boiled grain.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Venison quinoa.
Just like a fucking steak in porridge.
It's a deer steak in porridge.
We really need something you're not going to eat for 3 days after. It's
Yeah.
what you need.
I mean, when you're already just we're. I ran out of meat jelly. I didn't know what else to do.
Oops.
Awesome. All right, let's look at these cards.
Man.
So we got Boasting Knights.
Yeah. Boasting
Easy.
Knights.
Serving Girl Flirts, which
Flirts.
we know who that is.
Yeah.
Some Gossip.
Yeah. And then
And a Lady's Gift.
Lady's Gift. So knights speak about gifts to their ladies.
Wow. This is weirdly very Gorthrin-esque hand.
Yeah, it really is. Gossip.
How do you want to play it?
I'm kind of thinking there's like a part of me kind of would go for a serving girl flirts and revisit, like, we just Gorthrin just never leaves the conversation with the handmaiden. But I could also see a lady's gift being appropriate, given like gifts to their ladies.
It could be part of like Ethelwulf's entourage and like the rest of like Salisbury's court talking about gifts and such this evening, or like what is appropriate given how things are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially this time of year, given the sort of the bittersweet mood of things.
It's bittersweet, and remember, like, partially we were raided. Like everyone's not doing great. Remember, everyone doesn't have a whole lot to give off of this year, and we all kind of went through a lot. So
yeah, I kind of like a lady's
changes.
gift in that sense.
All right, cool.
So I think I'm going to play that. And then, so that's either Love of Life, which is 1, or Amor, which is 27. I think, like, here's how I play it. Like, given like the devastation that's probably happening, this is like fighting in the breadbasket kind of heartland of Logris, right? Like, this is London's occupied, Silchester's been raided. Like, to speak of material things is crass and vulgar, that in a time like this, it is a gift from the heart.
Yeah, and that's exactly the conversation that Gwenevere was telling you, right? She needs you to be sort of this representative champion of these beliefs and light for people.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you wax poetic about all the virtues, and it comes from the heart this year.
Yeah, just a gentle word and gentle touch to your to your lady love in this time of year is perhaps the greatest gift of all that you could give. And embrace comfort, knowing that the chaos that exists beyond your walls will stay there, and that inside you will have love and companionship.
Right.
Yeah.
The gift of your spouse not being a widow.
Yep. Came home.
Nice. Wow, you get to check the passion and
Nice.
+2 genealogy.
All right.
Underbar. Colin got the crads. All right. See what we got. Hey, no host card, which is also the classic Colin Feast move.
Yeah. I was vacillating between Great Deeds and Popular.
Great Deeds is great for you for obvious reasons, but yeah. Okay.
I'm actually going to go with Popular because I think this is actually Alwina and Karen like specifically diverting people to go talk to Sir Acewin. Because like they obviously Acewin's been melancholy, like mechanically melancholy, since she returned. And I think they know that, and they're doing what they think is going to help Acewin, which is like remind Acewin that they are not an island. And like, so they're like quietly kind of diverting knights to go talk to talk to Acewin,
Aw.
so she feels kind of popular. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah. So I keep this, and I will get an extra 2 geniality next round.
Beautiful. One more round.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. All right. No host card. Let's see what we got. We've got Drunken Lout, forgiving versus vengeful. A drunken knight dancing clumsily bumps into you. Time to share. Suddenly your affairs seem inconsequential. You want your friends to enjoy themselves. That's a keep card. The best weapon. Several knights are arguing about their favorite weapons.
You help yourself.
And then another test of strength.
Grab your suspenders. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about
Oh, yeah.
maces.
Talking about those.
Nice. Is that a eight flang flathead?
There's a studs on that.
Yeah, studs.
Let's see.
Did a 4.6 kilogram, 6 kilogram? Nice reforged steel.
Mhm.
just like people
Just
talking
like-
shit about like fishing rods.
Exactly. Let's see.
More test
I
strength.
do like the best weapon, because this is sort of like, it is after battle. We are all knights. Like, despite the grief of it, it's
Yeah.
at some point you're like, man, in that fight, I really could have used something to get past
Yeah,
this thing.
very much so. Absolutely. Yeah, I love it.
Let's see. So, all right, gonna go with best weapon. Gorthrin's best weapon skill is his sword skill. As cool as maces are, they have never been able to match his skill with the blade. So I'm gonna go with, I don't know. He's got a 23 of that and a 12 of the other. I kind of just want to roll mace just because it's not the highest.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with mace, even though it's not his best skill.
Ooh.
Could have been worse.
All right.
But just like, we're talking about maces, like, Gorthrin, we didn't see you fight with one.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of just answered the question right there. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, if it's so great, then why? We all saw you at Baden Hill. No one, not a mace in sight.
He's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
well, it does have its drawbacks, certainly.
Yep.
Fair enough. That's cool. Thanks for trying something different.
There we go. Try something different. Yeah.
One more round.
Yep.
These three.
2.
No host card. Alms.
No host card. This one is pretty easy. Alms, I really like. Because, like, obviously the church sees someone who's emotionally vulnerable.
Yeah.
Hey, I hear you're feeling bad about yourself. How about we fix it by you giving us money?
Very big youth pastor energy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The monk like takes a chair and sits in it backwards, says, "You know who else didn't do great at Baden Hill? Well, a guy named Jesus Christ."
Right.
So my question to you, Eric, is what's the upper cap on donations? Oh, I have to roll spiritual first, sorry. Which is I'm probably gonna pass because I've been working on spiritual. Yeah, I crit.
I mean,
So that doesn't automatically go up by 1. I just check it, right?
no, it should automatically go up by 1.
Hell
And
yeah.
then I believe it also gets checked. That's what happens when you
What
crit
was
on
it?
these things, right? Yeah.
I was already checked, so I'm happy about
Alright.
it going up
Yeah,
by
so-
1. Yeah, what's the upper limit of what I can donate?
I mean, originally I was going to say it's something like, 100 or so, but I feel like with a crit on your spirituality here, I feel like there isn't one. I feel like you get to set it.
Okay. Acewin, if you'll recall, Gareth was entrusted with a shit ton of church relics in Anarchy, about 300 Libra worth that he essentially buried. Acewin's going to give that back. Be like,
they're gonna do that what face? Like, they're like asking for so help the poor here, and you're like, I got one. I'll do you one better. How about an entire poorhouse?
Yeah. You remember that saint's thumb that we were holding on for you?
Yeah. No, we're gonna give you enough to basically build an entire new cathedral.
So,
but it's all in like hard treasure, so it's not like liquid. But it makes perfect sense.
It's like this is the only thing I have that is like proper treasure rather than goods.
Wow. Damn. Shit. Now I have to think about who these monks are. But I love it.
So I'm gonna get 150 glory for that.
For each? Shit. No, the other way around. For each half Librum donated, you gain 5 glory. Spend 300. Oh no, you're right. You're right. My bad. Yeah, you're right. I forgive me. You did it right. It's just a weirdly worded.
So 10 glory per Libra.
Yeah.
10 glory per Libra. So that's
you got it right.
That's not.
No. You're donating 300. So that right?
That would be 3,000.
Yeah, it'd be 3,000
yeah,
glory.
You had the other way. Yeah, we were doing the other way around. We were halving it instead of doubling it.
You sure you want to let me gain 3,000 glory for this?
That seems no, because I mean, okay,
yeah,
but I don't want to outright say no, right? I don't want to outright say no, but I want to figure out who this monk is and then who you're getting this to, because like clearly this is like if that was the case, you would be giving this. You know what I mean? This would be no, because that's even more than like joining the round table. Like it has to be 1,000.
Yeah,
let's just say 1,000.
This is.
Like
this is Daniel Jesuit who's going to form the Jesuit
Mark
monks.
Jesuit.
Yeah Daniel Arnold Jesuit. It's he's a very famous guy.
1,000 glory seems good. That's like what you get for knighting or round table. That's a pretty notable event to give all of this back.
So is it okay, like let's do this now, but I'm gonna have to like come up with a bunch of shit between this session and next session about like fleshing this out. Is that okay? Because like this,
honestly, it may be that Acewin wasn't exactly totally like in the know of who this was anyway. Like,
my god,
right? They're just like
that man. That man. Jesus
she
Christ.
was just totally ignorant. Totally ignorant of who the fuck she was talking to when she donated this. You know who else doubted their sword skill at Baden Hill? J. Christ.
E-man.
All right, so
Sir K the Reliant. That's too deep of a cut. All right.
1,000 glory bonus.
Yeah. God, I don't even know what the most like successful church in England is at this point, or what. What if I do know this? I do know around the anarchy and the start of Arthur's reign, I believe Oxford gets built, or Cambridge gets built, and I wonder if like both of those are abbeys. So like, what if this like goes into incidentally like helping fund, you know what I mean, and turn it into a university? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's my first instinct right now. That's the one line I have right now, is that it actually goes because like Oxford's in Silchester, which is not that far, which would make a monk coming over here not that far.
You know what it is? They're like, we're gonna build an abbey and we want to name it Acewin Chester.
Yeah,
and Acewin's like, you know, what's a better name? Just chop off the ace there. Winchester. You got it. It's great branding.
I gotta think about So that's the line that I'm gonna start with and figure out if that actually makes sense. But in general, yeah, you might have accidentally founded a university.
Cool. Returning the church relics is more glory than I earned at Baden Hill.
Yeah. This whole time. Cool. All right.
The real Baden Hill was in my finances all along.
Yeah. Is that the end of the feast?
If it was 3 rounds, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
3 bonus 2. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Let's calculate glory totals there,
right.
and then we'll get ready to do winter phase. Unless there's any of the like extra little scenes you want to do for the rest of the time.
No, not for me.
Yeah. Like,
I just got back-to-back 1,000 glory bonuses because I was like right on the edge of 8,000.
Oh yeah, love it. All right, I'm gonna move us off the feast page. I assume you all got your totals.
Yeah, I got 80 from the feast.
Okay. God. So like, man, I'm trying to think about how, like, what Wessex would be like at this point. You know what I mean? They fought with you. There's this huge hatred of Saxons, and whether that, and I feel like for the rest of Logris, it's a little bit more harsh, but for you all, it's much more tempered, considering just your exposure and how Wessex is. And so I feel like I'll probably play with that a little more about how, you know, even though Wessex fought for them, can you still trust that? There's still like this thing about, you can't trust the Saxon, kind of thing. And I think I'll continue playing with that vein, despite it being like, dude, the Earl's wife, Gorthrin's wife, like all these people are Saxons. They're
they should have without complaint. They turned the Angles away when the Angles were like, come fight with the Bretwalda.
They still not enough. Okay.
I like it.
All right. I will run with that in the next couple of years, because we're getting in. This is the end of the Boy King. The next period's the conquest period, which is kind of like us kind of going abroad a little bit. But when we're not abroad, I want to do more of like the domestic stuff at home more, and play with that more and flesh that out. Because again, we have a whole new like political scene. Shit. Now that we finished the part of the feast, I need to tell you about your knights.
Yeah.
Acewin.
Yes.
Despite trying to get rid of him, you couldn't. Your old squire, Llewellyn, like 27 or so.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Llewellyn,
were
they the talkative one? They were the talkative.
They were the talkative one.
Okay.
They've kind of grown up and changed since then.
That's good.
They are more aware, and they're very loyal to the Earl. So since in the 8 years hence, they have gotten in, seemed a little bit of a better head on their shoulders. Following Llewellyn is a young knight by the name of Eldred. I'll write these in.
Yeah.
Eldred is also like Llewellyn, disciplined, very aware, but chaste. And there's some other things to learn about these people, but I'm not. We will do that in future sessions. Because these are like young, like really like the youngest knights, besides Llewellyn. Aoife is prudent and tolerant, except for when it comes to food. Aoife might be able to rival Gorthrin for eating contests. Like she's kind of like the second best in Salisbury. And then lastly, I didn't write Aoife in the chat. Aoife. And then the fourth one is Dudig. Dudig is renownedly lustful. He's indulgent, but has sort of the kind of like the dude, the Big Lebowski kind of energy about him. Almost there's almost like a zen-like serenity about him, but that also kind of makes him kind of care about and hang out with people he shouldn't. He's very popular with peasants, and like will often go and drink with like the common folk. He's a little Falstaffy. If that helps.
Mm.
Gorthrin. Here are your new bachelor knights. First one is Weldemar. I'll write these in. Weldemar is half Saxon. He's a renowned harp player. He's known for being merciful and just generally righteous. Next up is a Sir Blessig, like your mom's name.
Mm-hmm.
She is not like your mom in any way. She is very selfish. She has a very high hatred of Saxon and strong oratory skills. Just as a general, overall kind of rough demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
You have number 3 is Gwegon or Gwegan. Gregan is ambitious, and he's known for throwing his own feasts. Very high hospitality, just in general, as well as a penchant for fairy lore. And then lastly is Sir Aaron, or Aaron. Yeah. He has a very high flirting, also proud, and also a hatred for Saxons. And again, just like these guys, just like Acewin's Knights, there's also some extra stuff that you can find out about him.
Sure.
Just in play, like, hey, I want to learn more about this person, what they're up to, and whatever. And I can, we can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
But just those are the stuff that you kind of know about him.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine at this point it's less of like who do we pick and more who's available.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly it. Again, I think what happens is that these guys are all basically 19, 20, or like random knights from that just they don't have anywhere else to go. Like perhaps previously bachelor knights that the lord was lost, and so they had they're going around under new management. People are moving around. So I would say that they're I didn't roll for this, but it's possible the locations and origins of some of these knights is not Salisbury. For sure. Like this would be certainly that time of a lot of mixing around and movement, because just from things being lost and all that kind of stuff. So great.
They're already down here for the battle. Might as well just stick around, kind of thing.
Yeah, and basically like the sun coming up, be like, sorry, there's going to be no space for you. Going back in here or or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or like I didn't get the manor that I wanted to, and my Earl released me, so I was going to try something else because I know other people need manors, right, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like so that kind of stuff. It's all common. Love it though. Okay, shall we do our experience rolls?
Yes. Okay, this is gonna be. Here we go. Nothing.
And here's
a good start.
Here
we go.
Here's the.
This is what we knew was happening.
Yeah, here's the trench.
Right, Reckless goes up by 1. You love it. You love to see it.
Yeah, especially today.
Yeah.
Want to do the battle thing? Yeah. God.
Good Lord. It goes up by 1. Hey.
Okay.
There you go.
That makes sense. Acewin would be spending a lot of time.
Yeah.
We're like, good. 2 things went up. I called it. I fucking called it.
Let's see.
Never play Gacha games. You'll just be completely broke and you'll never get anything.
I don't actually know what a Gacha game is, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask.
That's fair.
But it was like sort of like Pokemon, but then there's also Genshin Impact, and that looks like
they're battle games. But the only way to get better is to like have like loot crates that give you better items that are like 3-star, 4-star, or whatever, and it's random.
Okay, so like Destiny, but possibly fun.
Destiny, but more pay to win.
Yeah.
Hey, battle goes up. That makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah, renown for your battle skills. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, all right.
Hey,
So, okay.
so your sword goes up by 1.
There you go.
Lance goes up. All right.
Finally. So his
Ace goes
all
up.
of his combat skills are all the ones. I'll take it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's for me. So that battle, sword, lance, mace, and intrigue are all the ones that went up. I'm definitely raising siege later,
Yeah.
given the year's events.
You all aren't old enough for aging yet.
Not yet.
35 is the
Yep, we're getting there.
couple years.
Yep.
A Downey is now 15.
Yeah. Yeah, you have an insanely high sword skill.
Yeah. It's
Um,
a 24 now.
Work. Okay.
that's yep. I mean,
Uh,
it does seem kind
I'm
of. Go ahead. We're on the household member stuff, but I'm just thinking out loud that
you know,
like being part of the round table when like you are known for like just being a really good fighter rather than like everything. You know, like being in the round table is kind of that holistic thing, right? You represent all of the chivalry, all of the virtue and stuff like that. But you know, for you're definitely more on the we need you because you're just so goddamn good with a sword and like battle and fighting.
Yeah, if it weren't for his
A little bit of a specialist.
If it wasn't for his mercy and modesty, he'd be pretty close to getting the chivalry bonus. But like those are sitting way low, and all the other chivalric virtues are pretty high.
Yeah.
I think he's within 15 points of getting it, but like it's kind of hard to with like a 7 modest and
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah. Nice. Yeah, so we're on household survival. Three that are still not pages, although I believe. Oh, I guess this year, Kedwalla would have gone into a page program, and then next year Katie would go into one.
Oh, lovely. More
518, Kedwalla 7, and then Katie is 6 this year, so she'll be 7 next year.
Also going to the page.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just leaves Lesney as the last child that they have at home.
all right, I was calculating my chivalry bonus. I am very close. Very close. All right, let's do survival. Alwyn is already dead. Let's start with Alwina.
Perfect.
Is it not? Okay. So I don't know why it should be 16, but she's fine. I'm not gonna roll from them. Yanto, my bastard son, it's fine. My mistress, she's fine. Angarad is dead. My mother is dead.
Yep.
That's had to happen at some point.
When it rains, it pours.
Yep. Yeah. Uh-oh. How old is Gwyn?
Oh no. Oh God.
He might be okay. If he's older than 45, then no, he's fine unless he's 65.
No.
And even then I need to roll again.
He's 58.
Okay, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Give me a heart attack. My son is safe.
Whew. Good.
Shit.
Whoa. That's terrifying.
Economic circumstances.
Yep. All right. Manor times. We do the calculating.
Yeah. Justice.
Yep. So conflict wise, you adding 6. You had no calamities, so it's just the base. Let's do justices. So yep, justice event for Till's Head. Let's roll a justice event. Let's see. Ooh, 2 unconvincing people, a local priest and a farmer, and an exchange of verbal insults, some sort of affair about someone's brother.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm. It's always a priest.
Special
affairs.
Till's Head.
All right. Gorthrin's going to attempt justice.
This week on Till's Head Tales.
Right.
D20 minus 5.
No. For Gorthrin.
And D20. Okay.
I'm on
They also fail.
9.
So fail and fail. That's okay. No modifier for justice event.
Yeah.
That doesn't modify your hatred, so that means you just roll your hatred versus concern or whatever, and then that becomes your justice modifier for the year. Right.
So I got no concern. And I think my hatred in Till's Head is, I've got it at 5.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's okay. As long as you don't roll a 20, basically. You don't. If you roll a 20, then you get like a -5 to that, or -10 to the roll or whatever. So you're okay.
Yeah.
This is 0. All right. That means your weather that you're going to roll against, your misfortune roll, is going to be against a 17. All right, I got a 14, which is a pass. And you also get a pass. Which means you live as a normal knight, but again, you get to live richly.
Yeah, we'll live richly.
And it doesn't cost you anything, or actually, technically, it costs you 20, but you gain a stipend of 20.
Yeah.
This year, so it doesn't really make much of a difference.
As long as you got that,
yeah,
that stipend, he'll keep living richly.
All right. So before we do the rest of like the spouse industry and all that shit, let's go. I'm gonna flash over to Gunnet. Gunnet, let's do your justice event.
You're
Acewin. Ooh, priest, farmer, something about the home.
Illicit love affair.
Illicit love affair.
Okay.
All right.
Those priests, those lusty
those
priests. Yeah. Success on that.
They can't help themselves. This is gonna be 2d20. So the first one is the stat. The second one is the roll. Yeah. Okay. So you pass. You pass, which means I believe you reduce your hatred by 1.
Yep. See what my hatred is. It did creep up there. Yep. So now it's 6 instead of 7.
So success reduces hatred of landlord by 1, and then yeah, your test, your concern of commoners, and you said it's 6.
Hold on. Concern of commoners is 12, and then I get a -2 to that because hatred is 6, love is 4. So I'm rolling against a 10.
All right.
So there's 2. Oops.
All right. Fails just a 0. If you were to pass, it's like a -5 off of it. The last time you've passed, you crit in 511, you passed in 513, and you passed again at 516.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. You're also rolling against the 17 stewardship, or sorry, misfortune. So your stewardship is going to be. Oh, I fumbled.
You love to see it.
And a pass. That's auto rich.
What a rich.
Nice. Would you like to live richly?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gonna live richly.
Hell yeah. All right. Living richly. Let's talk about our spouse's industry and all that kind of stuff. So back to Jim. Spouse industry roll.
Yeah. Ooh,
Nice.
yeah, not a surprise there.
1 for each of you? Or 1 for both head?
Yeah, my famously lazy wife.
There were no other improvements. Last year, was there anything?
Yeah. Gorthrin's building us stables.
Right, for the horses, but that okay.
Yeah, but
oh yeah,
I don't think that we fleshed out like what all was present at Till's Head, but so he's not really like for an apiary or dovecote or anything.
oh that's right. I was
Yeah,
supposed to do that for you. I'm sorry.
I'm just now.
Yeah. Okay. Let me make a note so I don't forget next time. For the
Big
top of
ones
my
that I'm curious about are
list.
like, are there kennels for the dogs, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Is that
Oh yeah, there would be those accoutrements for sure. Um. All right. Oh yeah. So Bradley and Chad's probably wondering what's going on with their economics and stuff like that. I don't know what's going to happen with the conquest period, how we should change economics going forward, and how it should work. Um, right now, like the way the profit and things like that works is that rather than just earning the 10 Libram or whatever, it's just basically it's all out of the Great Pendragon campaign where the ratio between misfortune and success is your lifestyle. And then I just subtract the lifestyle cost between what you want to live at versus what you earned. And then that sort of just kind of balances out between everything. Anyways, Hill's Head. Yeah, so let's assume your expenses are going to be at least one more than last year for the horse, and then I'll figure out from there.
Yeah.
Your improvement income, just a 1. You auto get 10 income from being in Till's Head. Like you just basically get like a plus 10, and then you're also getting the 20 Libram stipend from being a roundtable knight. So you're going to be gaining a net. You're right now, unless you're spending anything extra, your expenses you've gained 15 Libram since last year.
okay? Yeah, he's not going to spend anything this
You're
year.
at 47.
We're already committed to.
Okay. Gun it. Let's see. You're living richly. Improvements. You didn't build anything last year.
I did want to do some commoner improvements, like fix shit up for them. I don't know how much that would cost.
I think it's like 5 per one.
Okay. I'll build 1 worth of surf improvements.
Yeah. The roads, Panera.
Put in a second outhouse in the village.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. It's like I need to make Manor Tycoon. Yeah, it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and you get the little messages saying,
"Yeah,
I need to use. I can't find the bathroom. I can't find the outhouse, my lord. I can't."
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's just for show, but it is a second one. Yeah. So,
sir, it doesn't work.
It's a point of pride.
There's no hole.
It just keeps stacking up, my lord. That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
But it is a point of pride. When they're talking to serfs from other manors, they're like, "Oh, my lord gave us 1.5 houses. I hadn't had dysentery in at least a week."
Shit runs downhill now.
I love it. All right. So your improvement expenses, it's okay. So you're just going to spend a flat 5 extra expenses, 3 additional manorial income. Your improvement income, I think you have to roll a D2 for your apiary. That's the only question.
Yep.
4 or 5? 4.
Nope.
All right. And then you also are donating how much money? How much did it come out to be?
Relic worth 300.
Right.
So this has never been a part of my treasury. It's just been a note on my sheet that says I have 300 Libra of buried church treasure.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
Donate. Okay. Hell yeah. All right then. You're finishing the year at 217. So you actually lost $2 from last year. All things said and done.
217, and I can do 100. Or is it how much?
10 leap from 400 glory.
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna do that.
All right, then you're down to 207.
All right.
Spreadsheets.
You said Gorthrin's was 15 above what it was last year.
Yeah, you're plus 15. You started the year at 472 and you're ending at 487. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do any discretionary income yourself, Gorthrin?
He's already spent 6 this year, like on clothes and gifts. So I think I might just go ahead and do another 4 and round it up to a solid 10 libra for the spending list.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Did you spend any money, Colin, on your parents?
Yeah.
No?
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Grand. Right, then that works out. Okay. Then economic part of the year is done. Go back to the stable rolls.
Okay.
I think so. You definitely bought yourself a stables, and so I think a stables would at least double the size of your horse herd, right? Of what's available. So normally you can carry 6. You can definitely carry 12.
Okay.
And then in 1800, or in 1400 years, when the Industrial Revolution happens, you can convert all these stables to become Till's Head Mews and get it big and make it really big on residential's property speculation.
Absolutely.
So that's the long game, is playing this game till the Industrial Revolution.
Yep.
The same family in we just play the whole thing.
Same one. So the day I die.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make that. That gives us room for those Andalusian Chargers that we got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. None of my. Well, I've got a few that are rolling with.
Oh, what are their ages? You got a 6-year-old one and a 2-year-old one. Okay. Daisy. 47 years of subscription. That just makes me feel old. I never realized how long I was streaming. 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow. He did.
Yeah. Okay. So the 3 is that first 3. They're good because the living richly bonus can't bumps them to out of the range of jeopardy, and then the same with the other 3. So no horses die this year. Very good.
Okay, good. This is always the most stressful part of the Pendragon, is the horses.
Easily, yeah. To these expensive.
What are your horses' survival like? You good, Colin?
Yeah. I've got all young horses, so
awesome.
They're
then
no worries.
Awesome. Family roles. If you want to have children, this will be the time. Then
skills though.
Yeah, then otherwise just doing their skills.
Those are.
Wow.
Okay.
How many? You just got 3 people's skills upgraded, didn't you, Jim?
No, those are for my stable births.
Oh, okay.
That's 66. I don't know if a 6 is
no, that's special.
A notable horse. We got
that
3 of those. Okay.
Open the D30 horse generator. Yeah. Can you roll 3 D30s for me? See what they they have? 8, 10, and 2. All right. The first one has just a special right foreleg marking. It's a pastern looking shape. It's a white marking ending right below the fetlock, which we all know because we're all horse experts. Where that
Of
is.
course, yeah. Yeah.
10 is a stocking, so it's a white marking extending up to the knees on the left foreleg. And 2 is a facial marking, which is a long white narrow stripe right down the middle of the face.
Nice. And the one last year with the coronet.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember.
I have a spreadsheet for this. I have my own spreadsheet.
Yeah. Good old trusty horses.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just going for that royal monopoly on horse breeding.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Training and practice after household member improvements are done. 5 points to any skill. 1 point to any skill that goes up to 20. Or attributes, traits, and passions.
Looks like
No improvements on my end.
yeah. Okay. So it looks like industry for Speederin goes up. Close, but stewardship remains 20. Speederin's gotten to be quite the mastery of the distaff arts.
Hmm.
It's got like a 20 stewardship and now like an 18 industry.
Wow.
No family events, training practice. So Gorthrin. Oh wait, never mind. We're not getting glory yet. So, and 2 years remaining on being able to increase attributes. But I need some skills. Yeah, I'm gonna sink some skills into siege.
I'm bumping energetic.
Nice. Is that one of the?
So-
do you need energetic for chivalry?
Yep. I am now at 90 out of 96.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay.
England, I was like, do I throw my 2,000 bonuses into sword? It's like, no, she's going to be training with sword anyway. Let's get chivalry. Let's get that up there.
That
That
bonus,
chivalry
yeah.
bonus.
Hell yeah.
So once I get the chivalry, then I just start attacking recklessly every combat. Done.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I sunk 5 skill points into siege. That brings it up to 11. I think with the defensive value of Till's head, that gives me a respectable
Yeah.
um,
16 or so,
siege.
or no, it should be higher than that. But yeah. I think it's plus 8 or so. So yeah, I think you're good.
8 sounds right.
Okay. Finishing up calculating glory for the rest of the year.
9,300.
So let's see. Gorthrin entered this year with 90. Yeah, Gorthrin entered the year with just over 9,000 at 9,020 and is ending the year at 11,452.
These nuggets.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Haddon Hill.
Baden Hill and the Round Table.
Yeah. Yeah, you got 1050 just from Baden Hill from the 4 days of fighting. I think this might be his most glorious year to date.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at the others. Like there's some.
Yeah. He calls it out in the book in the Great Pendragon campaign how like, yeah, this is like a huge, if you don't if you don't die, you're probably gaining at least 1,000 glory this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form.
In some way, shape, or form, yeah. think the only one that came closer to that was the year that we kidnapped King Royne.
Yeah. I think your next threshold for a card is 16,000 because I think it goes by powers of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
2 glory points.
Yeah.
Mm.
You might be like, again, like we're going into the conquest period. It's another pretty heavy warfare period of the game.
Yeah.
And admittedly, I'm gonna have to do my research about what to do about the conquest period. It's the one I definitely know the least about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Arthur going around fucking shit up, as far as I can tell. I'm much more into like the tournament period and that kind of stuff, the quest stuff. So we'll see. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Other than that, so we'll see. Okay. How are you all gonna apply your bonuses?
Oh no. Like, I'm thinking of putting mine into traits as well to get that chivalry bonus too.
16,000 is known throughout Western Europe.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That would be like you would have a book, like I would own a book about Sir Gorthrin.
Yeah. That's where like the fiction and reality starts blurring, because it'd be like they would have written it down about it if you would have been in the stories.
Incredible.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm probably putting mine either into traits or passions. Especially with like the new passion rules. There's some that like bump up. Would be
your loyalty to Arthur.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Seems like an obvious one. The other one would be, anything involving. Remember, you're going to be called upon to compete in challenges for the Gwenevere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those aren't just like your normal tourney skills. These could also be like courting, dance, flirting. So like anything like that might be useful, but also that +1, like your stats. You're about to start aging. Is a good way to put a little more meat on the bones.
Yeah, there's a lot to. I think it also, because I've lost a point of con this year from the siege at Till's Head, the raid at Till's Head.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with. I've already been bumping up honesty, so I'm going to spend 1 point to bump up that again. That's 15.
Like the stories will probably call about Baden Hill, especially like right now, although they're pretty like evocative. It's Gorthrin, you probably have like a couple. You're probably known for killing at like 100 people or something. You know what I mean? Like some like preposterous.
Right. Yeah. There's no way it was that.
Yeah, but like that's you know what I mean. Like that's the stories now of like you weren't an art like obviously King Arthur did a bunch of like he killed 1,000 people with just one hand or whatever. But like no, I mean these other knights apparently it's like a guy he killed 500 people and became a round table knight. I think his name was like Gorthro or something like that.
Yeah.
That kind of like in Western Europe is like like Claudius's court is like hearing about the battle, right?
Yeah, it's about time that we got some respect from some of those monarchs on the continent.
Yeah. I mean, which is also cool because I believe you guys were sieging Sir King Claudius or whatever. Like your dad was like on the other end of it, yep. And now your son is his son is the guy you're hearing about.
Yep, exactly.
Weird world. Okay, Colin, how'd you spend your glory?
I bumped. Hold on, let me take a look again. I've already forgotten. I think I bumped generous. No, hold on. I bumped modest is now 16.
Yeah, and I thought you booped up energetic.
energetic was my training,
Okay.
and then the other was my honor back up to 16.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You are no
So-
longer worse than an average knight.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, it preserves the traits and passions 16 glory.
Oh yeah. Cool. All right then. Then I think we're gonna probably wrap up for today.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
about that time.
That's good.
So next week is 519, the start of the conquest period. I can't believe we've been playing for this long. I love y'all. It feels so cool.
Yeah.
We've been playing for like 2 years.
Yeah, this is very
Yep.
satisfying. Like, just really cool to like see it grow over that time.
Freaking
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
All right, y'all. All right then. Anything y'all want to shout out?
Not right now.
Well,
Not at the
then-
moment.
All right, then I do. I have a quick shout
Yeah.
out. Because I want to grab it and show it off.
Yes.
Ha! Yes.
There it is.
It's gonna probably blur out because of like camera, but I have a sword. And I'm thinking about naming it Acewin.
Look at that beauty.
That. Oof. How's the weight? Is it like
Heavy.
balanced? Because
It's
okay,
It's balanced, but it's heavy. It's balanced. It's a little bit higher up balance than what I want. It's 10 centimeters off the hilt, and normally it's supposed to be between 2 and 3 inches. It's like, and this is about 3 inches, so it's a little bit higher than kind of what I want. But it's a hand and a half sword, so you're kind of like not supposed to hold it one handed, which is why it's the way it is.
Yeah.
So it feels really good in 2 hands, like you can just. But it's one hand is that like I get it. I understand why people talk that way because it's awkward. But it's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I've
That's
got
awesome.
like a Ren Fair replica Excalibur that is the weight is it's just like holding like rebar. There's no balance to it at all, which is fine. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah. And I want to shout out Lauren. You know, we all saw Sir Balin.
Yep.
Lauren is the one who recommended this place where I got this sword. So it's like all like good and HEMA worthy for stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, and yeah, I think I'm pretty solid and okay. I'm gonna name it Acewin, despite Gorthrin having the higher sword and all.
cool.
But I think
That's
in
right.
terms of memories, I think Acewin's gonna be my sword's name.
Mhm.
So
Very
thanks for
cool.
that.
Very cool.
Anyways, I want to share that with y'all. So thank you.
Love to see it. Yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next week for more
All right.
Pendragon. Later.